Hey now, Site Insiders, Richard Blissbrook here. Here's a question for you. Are you 1 out of 100? Or 1 out of 200? Or 1 out of 300? Are you a 1%er? Are you better than a 1%er? Here's been my experience. If you're watching this video, you're a leader, right? You're like you're building. You may not be building as fast and as big as you want, but you're in there. You're building. You have intention. You're doing the work, right? You're learning. You're tapped into something like this. How would it feel to have somebody like you on your team, like even personally enrolled? How would that feel to have a mini-me on your team on your first level? Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah. But here's the awesome part about having a mini-me. Let's say your team is, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Let's say your team has 100 people on it. Well, if one of your frontline people is a you, like your kind of horsepower, your kind of vision, your kind of motivation, your kind of work ethic, then what you can look forward to is a doubling at least of your team. Why? Because they're like you. So if you've got 100 people on your team and you enroll somebody like you, what you can look forward to is a doubling, right? If you have 500 people on your team, well, that means you created 500 people. Doesn't matter how long it took you to do it. If you have a mini-me, a mini-you on your front line, you're in for a doubling of the 500. 1,000 to 2,000, 5,000 to 10,000. Does that make sense? This is what I call the power of one. There's only about 1% of us that are real builders. There's only about 1% of the population that are real rebels. Like, we're willing to do something radical that, most people would consider we'll get criticized for. We don't care. We'll do it anyway. What we see as the upside is more valuable than the criticism. We're past it, right? We're over it. We realize all those people don't pay our bills. They're not going to support our retirement. They're not going to take care of us. They're not going to pay off our debts. We have to take care of us. So we're rebels. We're about 1 out of 100. You've heard maybe in my previous videos about the rule of 7. What that means is about 7% of us on any given day are ready to get involved in something rebellious. We're ready to maybe try, give it a whirl, check it out, right? Get involved. But 7% is not 1%. So you may get over a period of time of 7% of the people that you enroll that build with you, but you're only going to get about 1% that mini you. And so how do you get 1 out of 100 on your team, personally enrolled? Very simple, enroll about 100 people. Preferably more, right? Maybe 120, 130, so that you can fall in the average of finding the one like you. And that may seem daunting. That may seem incredible, but it's really not. It's just personally enrolling, about 4 people a month for a couple of years. It's just 1 a week. How do you enroll 1 a week? I realize that sounds daunting too, but not if you think about, well, that really only takes about 3 presentations a week. Well, that may seem daunting too, but how do you get to 3 presentations a week? Well, you just ask, 3 or 4 people a day if they'll sit for one on Zoom or in person or at your home or at their kitchen table or wherever. It's just a matter of compounding the numbers, right? Which will be the next video I'm going to share you about. But power of one. I want to leave you with one found story about the power of one. So I have a neighbor here on Lanai. His name is Jim. I'll leave him anonymous beyond that. And he built Amway for 7 years, and only 7 years. And in that period of time, he sponsored one like him, actually better than him. He sponsored a guy who, if you just look at the guy he sponsored, well, he didn't do that much. He wasn't that incredible, except he sponsored somebody who sponsored somebody who sponsored somebody who sponsored the founding distributor for Amway for South Korea. And Amway South Korea does about $1.5 billion, $2 billion a year. It's their number one market. It's way bigger than the U.S. And so Jim, my neighbor, been retired here on Lanai for 25 years off of South Korea. So if you think about, all the work that we do, just keep this in mind. It's a numbers game to a certain extent. What you're looking for at the very least is a mini you, somebody who sees the opportunity the way you see it and will work as hard as you're working. And then you can look forward to a doubling. And if you just keep that in mind and keep doing that, what you're going to maybe find is like Jim found, you're going to find somebody that's not a mini you, it's a mini you times 100 because they're out there and it's all on your team, right? And you all know I'm talking about personally sponsored, but it doesn't really matter. The mini you could be at any level and it still doubles your team. We'll see you next week.